folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Hellboy in Love, Issue 1 by Dark Horse. Now, there is fighting and goblins in this one, so if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here's the team. So this is not such an old series. It came out in 2002. I of course ordered it, and of course haven't read it yet. Well, now I've finally begun. But yeah, it's about, well, as the title says, I presume Hellboy will be in love. Now, I think after I finished reading Hellboy: Bones of Giants, I thought that this lady here, this character, is Eichmann's daughter. It was the character from that story. I think as they look slightly similar, I thought, oh, he continues on and they get to know each other or something. No, no, this is a completely different character. All right, so let's get into the story. So it is 1979. We're in North England on the train. You can see that on a tree near the train tracks, there are I think about six goblins waiting for the train to pass by. They jump on it and, well, burst in through the windows, scaring people. People are, what is that? Jumping on them. They're looking for this lady here. She is sitting in the train listening to music on headphones, so she doesn't immediately hear the commotion. But then she does, and one of the goblins like, "Where is she?" And I think the leader said, "What, are you blind? There she is." The woman reaches for her luggage that's up top, and the goblin's like, "Okay, get the case." And she's like, "You're not taking this from me. I'll bash your skull in." And he's like, "Well, there's that will be for the first goblin, but there's a lot more of us in our review." Then we go to the next what do you call it? Caron, not 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 cabin. Ah, fuck. What do you call that part? It shit. What is it? It's not platform. Anyway, the next let's call it the section. Fuck, I forget the word. I know it in Hebrew, but I don't remember in English. Anyway, the next section of the train looks like kind of a restaurant. The restaurant there. Hellboy is sitting there napping. The people that ran away from the not the cabin, or the woman was. They run out and they're like, and Hellboy wakes up from the commotion. Then I think it's a priest that's sitting next to Hellboy, and he tells him, I think this is yeah, I think this is something that you can handle." And Hellboy gets up and he goes inside, and indeed, although the young lady here knocked out one goblin, still the rest of them grabbed her case, and they're getting away with it through the windows. Hellboy appears and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I should have been here to accompany you, but I have napped." He says, "Your bosses from the British Museum sent me to escort you." And she's like, "Well, quick, they're running away." The goblins climb up onto the train, and they're carrying away the suitcase that she had. Hellboy goes after them, but then also the young woman goes out as well. I'll look later. I forgot what her name is. I think it was. Yeah. I'll get to that later. Hellboy reaches out. He's like, "Oh no, you don't." So he goes after them. It's like, I won't let you leave here with that case. Then the young woman also, she gets out of the section of the train. She climbs on top of the roof of the that one shit. Fuck it. I need to quickly check what it's called. It's gonna drive me mental. There we go. Uh, okay. 1 second. Sorry. Come on, work with me. Ah, they're maybe carriage. Ah, shit. No, still not it. Fuck. All right. Maybe carriage. Fuck it. Sorry about that. Hey, she gets up on the roof of the carriage. Um, she also tries to she punches one goblin. Hellboy also punched a goblin earlier. As the goblin was like, "Come on," and Hellboy's like, "Really? Like you're so tiny. What are you gonna do?" She grabs it. The goblins go at her, and they're like, "Is it really worth dying for?" Because they grab her and they're about to toss her off of the train, and she's like, "Oh no!" And she's like, "Hellboy." Wait, what happened to Hellboy? So, what was he? There we go. What's he doing? Did one of them knock him? Ah, no, no, he's just getting. The senior though is a little bit weird because you don't see really the goblins tossing her off. And just the way they held her there, the way she's holding on to the train doesn't make sense. The roof of the train, it's like, or the carriage. I don't know. That was a bit of a weird part there. But anyway, yeah, that was like son of a. But the goblins escape. The young woman's hanging there. She needs help. Hellwood pulls her up and he's like, "Why did you get in the way? I was getting your stuff." And you say, "Yeah, how's that going for you?" Yeah, they clearly didn't get off on a good start. But to be fair, Hellboy should have probably came to her a little earlier and introduced himself and everything. But yes. So he pulls her up and he's like, "Okay, stay here. I'll get your case." He jumps off of the train. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna hurt." And he wheels and turns, and the woman's like, "Show off." And he reaches the ground, not very gracefully. And he gets up, and then she also jumps off of the train, far more gracefully, and even catches her cap as she gets down. And Hell like, "Show off," which is I don't know how the fuck she did. It's not like the train was slowing down. She just. Granted, not that that would be impossible, but how gracefully she did it doesn't exactly make sense. It's like, well, wait a second. Again, if the train was slow, okay, I can see her. But if from that speed, she'd probably be hurt. But I don't know. Maybe it turns out she's not human. Anyway, um, that's it. They're like, "Come on, we gotta get to them." So they follow through the forest, and she tells him, "Oh, come on, this is not a race. We both need to get these goblins." So they reach a house there in the middle of there's I think a shepherd there with all his sheep, the dog, and two of his employees. The goblins stole his truck. Well, Hellboy approaches Hellboy and the woman. They approach the shepherd as he tells off his employees, "How could you let the goblins steal the truck?" So Hellboy asked, "Have you seen?" And then he said, "Yes, I took the truck over there. Would you, if I let you use my car, could you promise to return them both, his truck and the car?" And the young lady here said, "Yes, of course we will." And he says, "Okay." And I said, "Return the vehicles, of course. The goblins you can throw off a cliff if you find them." So they take his car and drive off. And Hellboy's like, "Why did you promise them we'll bring back the vehicles?" And she said, "Well, I didn't say we'd bring them back in one piece. That's not very nice. The man helped you." As they keep driving, arguing a bit, she tells him, "You're driving very slow like my nan." And he said, "Well, I said I know how to drive, not that I do it a lot." And she tells him, "Well, how about a deal? I'll drive a little. Hey, you drive a little faster, a little steadier, and I'll tell you, why, what my research is about, why it's so important." And he says, "All right, deal." So she's looking to prove that there was this, like, not a cult, but like the secret people that could and did all this sort of magic, or what was it? He's trying to prove the something, but of course, because it's so hard to believe, it's so slim that it's really real. Um, that they're her her bosses and don't wanna support this, and she can't find funding for this search of hers, and she can't get money for funding unless she funds getting evidence. So a catch 22 essentially. She wants to prove here we go. What was the theory? She's like the original idiots in robes. She wants to prove of the original, I guess, people that did magic, perhaps. So she found this thing where there was these remains of a witch who knew languages that she couldn't know in 1100 BC. Because what was it? Here, Egyptian or Parisian, something else. And then she probably did magic, and there was a bunch of other ones that did it. And she wants to prove that, and even Hellboy's like, well, no wonder, no wonder you can't convince them. That indeed doesn't seem very likely. So in her suitcase, there are artifacts which have engraves on them that might prove it. And that's why she needs them. She like put her whole career on it. And I guess also this witch lady, she thinks they communicated because during that time period there's no traveling between oceans. People didn't try to reach other continents, so there might be a chance that she's right. So they reach a town. Hellboy, and they're still talking. She tells him, "Hellboy, wait, stop the car." And he said, before that, he asked her, "Well, why would goblins steal that?" And he said, "Well, that one time doesn't get to finish." Uh, and the young lady here, she spotted the car and the truck. I mean, they reach it. It says, "Careful," but it's empty. The goblins are not there. Then Hellboy pulls out a little bottle, and it's full of ashes of this magician that wanted to seduce a bunch of witches and get their powers, and almost succeeded. But then lightning struck him and killed him. But you can use his ashes in order to follow the trace of magic. So it's like, oh, he says, "Yeah, my the professor swears by this, Professor Broom." And then she tells him, "Well, I don't think there's a need for it." And he's like, "Oh, fantastic." Sarcastically, of course. It still leads them to the right place, a kind of club. They're at the back entrance. It's locked, but the goblins still got in, of course. But unlike the goblins, they can go from the front. So they go. A young lady here buys them 2 tickets. 2 policemen approach Hellboy and they're like, "Is everything all right? Is there any trouble here?" And he's like, "I don't know, Constable. Left to be seen." They go into the club. Hellboy's not thrilled about it. She said, "You don't like a punk?" And he said, I'm open-minded, but he says, "This is the kind of place where anyone can blend in." And yeah, in the crowd of dancing people, you can see the goblins as well. And then she's like, where's the goblin? Where's my case?" And Hellboy says, "Well, don't look now, but here are the answers to your questions." And then you see the leader goblin standing there, and there's a man in a suit in front of him, and the goblin leader's holding the case. And they approach him, and Hellboy says, "Hey, buddy, I think you got something that doesn't belong to you." The goblin leader turns around, and he's like, "Oh, crap." And that's where the issue ends. Okay. So let's start with the cover here. It's not a bad one. You got Hellboy, you got the young lady, the train, and then the goblin face in the back. The kind of, you see, it looks like a heart here. That's kind of nice. And a bit of a clash, perhaps, but it looks good. I wish Mike Manola still did covers for these. Okay, and then I'll show you some of the interior pages. So there we go. You see the goblins. Don't worry, some of them wear pants. Okay, see there's the train. There we go. And here they jump in, scaring people. I was like, bloody hell. Indeed, madam. Indeed. The art style's pretty good. Not bad. The features of the goblins also remind of how Hellboy looks and the demons in hell that are drawn. So I quite like that. I see she's hitting one of them. Boom. Ah, yeah, I forgot she hit one. Then he said, well, you'll hit one of us, but the rest will jump on you. Oh, yeah. Good art. Good colors, too. Let me now find you the name of this young woman. Before I forget. I don't know her first name. So far, she's been only introduced by her surname, which is what was her surname? Let me find it. Watch my videos. You know me. I'm shit with names. Let's see. What was it? Come on. Okay. Oh yeah, I also forgot to say. She thinks that Hellboy's handsome. He's like, "Did you hit your head, lady?" The hell was not used to this kind of attention. Okay, come on. What was what's her name? Something else, lady. Yeah. Okay, oh shit. Did they not? I could have sworn that I think it was maybe in the beginning. Oh yeah, she said that case is my responsibility. Man, she probably shouldn't have really jumped. Um. Yeah, fuck. Where's her name? Where is her name? Fucking hell. There it is. Sorry. There it is. It's Dr. Bransfield. Okay, Dr. Bransfield. That's her name. Okay, yeah, Dr. Bransfield. So she's a doctor or some kind. She's got a doctorate probably. But yeah, so far no first name. So yeah, see and Dr. Bransfield. Okay, so that was a pretty good first issue. Got right into the action with the goblins. It's left to be seen why they want that case. Now, Hellboy does suspect that maybe they want to prevent her from finding out about this if it is in fact real, which in a way would make sense. And also, she says it's weird that they went to steal that precisely, but I don't know much about goblins. And these are, I think, they're big goblins. I think it might be big ones too. So yeah, it's left to be seen. Now, how this series is, so the first two issues covered this story. It's a 5-issue miniseries. And then I think the last 3 issues might cover another story. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work. Because this one's called Goblin Knight, Part 1 of 2. So I do wonder what's going to be the continuation. To get our artifacts, perhaps in issue 2. And then maybe they'll later go out to search about this whole cult. not cult, about this. It's called. It's got this name, but it's translated to Art of Fire. So maybe after, maybe in issue 2 they'll get the case back, and then they'll together follow this and try to get proof. Now this is called Hellboy in Love, so I assume as we progress, Hellboy will fall in love with her. But will they be together? It is interesting. Hellboy's love life is not something I think if you read Hellboy, you tend to think too much about because he's a big red half demon from hell. So going out on dates isn't as easy, especially working at the bureau. You can be called on a moment's notice, plus all the weird shit. So yeah, I guess there you either need to date someone very understanding or someone that also works in the field. Yeah, we'll see. So far, at least there's adventure. It's a bit of the banter between Dr. Bransfield and Hellboy. Left to be seen. Will he take her out on a date in the end of this adventure? I don't know. But I do look forward to finding out. Yeah, sorry about the delays in searching in this one. Said to find. Is it called Carriage? Maybe that is Carriage. Alright, so that is it, folks. Let me know if you read this issue of Hellboy in Love, the first one, and what did you think about it? And that is it. Remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!